Okay, off-the-shelf Huzzah, Grand Tactical Battles of the American Civil War. 4 Battles of the American Civil War, Volume 1. Okay, minimum fire zone. The minimum fire zone, by the way, is under the chapter under Advance and En Passant Fire. Okay. Is that relevant? Does minimum fire zone... that's possible. Okay, it's possible that minimum fire zone is under this rule section because minimum fire zone only applies to advance fire and en passant fire. Fire that occurs during an enemy action or cavalry segment is known as advance fire or en passant fire. Okay. Okay. Then we have the minimum fire zone. 1 or 2 hexes depending on their state of disorganization, line of sight. Okay, and again, movement into units MFZ will usually trigger fire from that unit. Routed units don't have that. Yeah, it's obvious. Disrupted units and units. Okay. Well, again, what is a unit's MFZ is never greater than the closest undisrupted, unrouted enemy unit. A unit whose MFZ is normally 2 hexes and that has an undisrupted enemy unit adjacent to it has an MFZ of 1 hex. Okay. MFZ, yeah, can't go past another enemy unit that's a threat or potential threat. Okay. An MFZ extends into but never through woods and margin. Okay. This, again, sure looks like simply a defensive fire zone. All right. Well, I'm going with that for now because minimum fire zone still doesn't make any sense. The terminology doesn't make any sense, but unless that's a reference to how it's actually executed. Okay, but I can move on. I can move on. So a unit may be subject to more than 1 fire attack per segment. Okay, a unit may never fire at more than 1 target. 4 small arms strength points may fire out of a clear hex or all artillery SPs. So that's nice. I like games that have, assuming that it's relevant, have a kind of a control on the amount of fire that can basically be thrown or fired out of a hex. Okay. 3 SPs may fire out of non-clear hex, both small arms and artillery. The appropriate units may fire every friendly artillery, small arms, and or action segment. Okay. So this game might involve a lot of firing, which I like. Stacked units may not fire separately. Stacked units may not fire separately. Huh. Only stacked units may combine for fire. Okay. Different stacks may never combine in a single fire. Fire effects are applied immediately against a target. Okay. Combine. Okay, so this was added. So apparently this was not in the first edition of the rules. Combine all strength points firing from a hex. Actually, let's grab something. My phone has 6 different color settings, and I still can't figure out which one. Oh, I chose the wrong one. Oh well, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I can't figure out the right color setting to use. Okay, so let's grab another 3rd Texas. Let's say there are 2 units of the 3rd Texas in that hex. Okay. Combine all strength points firing from a hex into a single total. If a stack contained 3 units in a hex totaling 4 SP, their base fire factor would be 4. This base fire factor may be further modified. Okay. First of all, yeah, this is good because we have 4. 2 plus 2, right? So it's 4 small arms. Strength points may fire out of a clear hex. That is a clear hex. So that's good for our example. General fire procedure. Count the hexes from the firing stack to the target hex. So 1, 2. Put that right there. Okay, this is the firing range. Proceed to the range factor table. Proceed to the range factor table, which is below the CRT, combat results table. Cross-referencing the firing range to the stack's weapon type. All right, this is it. The 2 hexes. Oops, 2 hexes for infantry is 1. Oh, so no change. Okay, no change. Let's see if there's anything different. The resulting number is the range factor. Yeah, the range factor is 1. When calculating a stack's final factor, round all fractions down, drop all. That is drop all fractions. This last figure is the unit's fire factor. A unit can never have a fire factor less than 0. And that is on the CRT. The first row is 0, and it goes all the way up to 36 plus. So I guess we would be 4. So I guess we would be on the 3-4 line. We'd start at the 3-4 line. Okay. The formula for determining a unit's fire factor is printed on the combat. That's that one that we already talked about. Fire factor equals strength points firing times range factor, which again is our 4 times 1 is 4. Now proceed to the combat results table. Find the line. Okay, that corresponds. We already did that. Modify the line according to the line modifier schedule under the heading fire only. I think that's this one. Fire line modifier schedule fire combat only. Modify the fire line. They're referring to the fire lines here, or row. They're calling these fire. It is labeled fire line, but I'm talking about rows in the table here. All modifications are cumulative. Make all positive adjustments before negative ones. Terrain. This is all clear terrain. There's nothing. There's no terrain involved here. Well, that's too bad. I guess I probably should have used some examples, but I should use some examples with some modifiers here. Low terrain unit behind a Betis or stone wall. Target status. Target flanked. Target advanced pre-assault. Target charge. Small arms versus artillery. Target density. Target contains 5 fire factor points. Increase fire line by 1. No, it's just 2 there. I assume that's what they're referring to. Let's see. Firing unit status. Firing unit status. Okay. Firing unit disrupted. Advanced fire marker. Firing unit behind a Betis fence or stone wall. Okay. So I guess it would be none. But these adjustments would, I believe we're going plus down and minus up and adjusting the fire line, because I think the die roll is always 0 to 9. It's always 0 to 9. Okay, so a negative yeah, that's right here. A negative modifier decreases the fire line. That is, move up the combat table and vice versa. Roll the 10-sided die. Okay, and we got a fairly average 6. So 6 there. So I was on 3 to 4 line. No effect. Okay. Now, let's say that it was a 2. 2 to 4 would be a D. Combat results. Summary D, that the stack is disrupted. A stack may attempt to take an organization hit in lieu of the disruption by checking its modified morale. If it passes this check, let's try this. The only time a unit may attempt to take an O hit instead of the disruption is when it receives a D combat result. Okay. Here it is again. Flip a unit at full effectiveness to its reduced effectiveness side when it suffers its 3rd O hit. Remove a unit at reduced effectiveness when it suffers its 3rd O hit. Something so simple. Something so simple, and I read 2 different interpretations there. That's crazy. To me, that's just crazy. Move across. Okay, let's first of all say disrupted. What do you even do when something's disrupted? The stack is disrupted. Is there a marker? Oh, yes. Okay, disrupted. Okay. It's a union target, so This is apparently the disrupted marker, -3. Okay, so I guess that's disrupted. Okay, I guess. Okay, now let's talk about, let's do the in lieu of that. 12.1. When checking, what? I think that was a wrong rules reference. I think. Yeah. All right, I got to check these things so I don't give the wrong. It says a stack may attempt to take an organization hit in lieu of the disruption by checking its average modified morale. 12.1. 12.1 is calculating the average base morale of a stack. Okay. I thought the reference was to more than that. Okay, that's okay. When checking for stragglers, see, that's why it's misleading, because then you go talking about stragglers, but all right. I'm skipping that, though. In average base, oh, that's why. You see, the definition of average base morale is hidden inside a paragraph that starts talking about stragglers. Not wrong or incorrect or anything, but could be, I don't know. That's doesn't seem as straightforward as it could be. An average base morale is the sum of the base morales of each unit in a stack divided by the number of units in that stack. Okay, just round all fractions out. So it's a true average. So there's that. So it's 5. Calculating average morale, average modified morale in some. Okay, so. Okay, it is modified morale. So what modifies morale? What does modify morale? What modifies morale? Morale modifier schedule. I'll just assume I'm using this. Out of command, flanked. Out of command. Flanked, isolated, positive modifier stack executed. Base morale minus O hits. Okay. So I guess none of these apply, or we'll say none of them apply. So it is 5. So I guess you roll against, so I think that's good, right? So, now let's go back to that, if it passes this check, okay, so what is a morale check? I have to do that again. Unit morale, whenever a stack checks for disorganization, if the number is less than or equal to its average modified morale, then it passes the check. Okay, so in this case, it passed the check, which means what? If it passes this check, it takes the O hit and remains in good order. Oh, okay. That's the in lieu of part. Okay. So I guess it's not going to get that because it's in good order, but it is going to take, it does take that, the organization hit. Okay. Now the other result that could be possible is the, for us here is, a roll of 0 or 1 would be a 1D. So a 1D, the stack suffers one organization hit, check for disorganization. Oh, check for disorganization. That's why the D is in parentheses. Okay. So what does that involve? If the roll is less than or equal to its average modified morale, then there is no additional effect. If the roll exceeds its morale, is disrupted or routed depending upon its previous state of disorganization. So, okay, so it's basically to start over. If the Confederates rolled a 0 or 1, then the target takes a hit and checks for disorganization, which is, I guess, that morale check. which they failed because it's over 5. It's over the modified morale. So then it is also disrupted in this case. So I think it takes the O hit and is disrupted. Okay.